lot of you agency owners are absolutely miserable. We're gonna change that today by teaching you the 7 unspoken rules of running an agency. So running an agency is not always the easiest thing, right? There's a lot of action that happens within each of our agencies, and oftentimes we can get convoluted in what it actually takes to run a successful agency. We're gonna zoom out just a little bit. We're gonna be talking about the 7 unspoken rules of running a successful agency, and hopefully these 7 rules will help you get clarity on which areas of your agency need to be improved on. The very first one that we're gonna be chatting about today, and this one is always overlooked when it comes to scaling an agency, is that you and your team are actually good at what you do. If you do not prioritize client results, you are not going to keep clients long-term. And if you ever want to scale an agency, you have to be able to hold on to clients long-term. And I've talked about this in 1,000 different videos before, but you have to fix your churn issues. And a lot of those churn issues are coming because you are not delivering the result that you said that you would deliver for your client when you sold them. The whole game here is to make sure that your team, and as you scale, your team is trained up, right? And you can deliver those results that you say that you can deliver, okay? And a lot of times we get kind of stuck in this wanting to remove the founder from the agency before the people that he's replacing himself with, or her, are actually ready to step into those shoes, right? So make sure you're continuing training your team. If you have new people coming on board, there should be KPIs in place for them to be able to hit. And if they can't hit those KPIs, they need more training, right? Because we have to deliver that high-end result for our client. So the second rule is that you need to know your numbers, right? You need to be able to generate profit for your business. You need to understand how much profit you're actually generating and which projects that you're working on are actually profitable versus the ones that aren't. You need to be able to understand your customer acquisition costs, your lifetime value across all of your clients. So if you're not tracking the internal data within your agency, then you need to start tracking those things. That data is going to be so important for you to scale, especially on the profitability side. If you're running unprofitable projects, if some clients are really profitable and other clients aren't making any profit and they're actually losing you money, it's going to make things very difficult for you to scale your agency. So start tracking your data. It is absolutely crucial. It's one thing that you should be doing from the very start, even though it's a little bit menial and sometimes it takes a lot of time to track some of that data. Yes, we still have to do it, and it's good business practice, and it will allow you to get the data you need to hire new employees and to start scaling up your agency. And number 3, you have to be proactive with your clients. If your clients' results start to drop off, you need to be able to pivot and turn, bring new ideas to the table, change campaign structures, swap out creatives. Whatever your service is, you have to be proactive with the client so you continue to deliver them the results that you began delivering for them when they first started working with you. Because at the end of the day, if you can't be proactive on delivering results, then those clients will eventually drop off because those results will eventually fail. And number 4, and this one is often skipped over, is you have to actually price for profitability. And this kind of ties back to number 2, knowing your numbers, but we have to go a little bit deeper on it on number 4. A lot of agencies often leave profitability up to chance. They don't understand when they sign a new client, how profitable that client actually is, and they don't understand how to work billable hours and how to make sure that their team is delivering at a high level so they can get the most out of those billable hours and make sure that they are running very strong profit margins for their agency clients. So with that being said, you have to understand how much time is going into projects, and that way when you go to actually build your pricing structure, we don't necessarily want to charge an hourly rate, but we should have a good understanding of what the hourly rate to deliver for that client actually is and who's involved and how much time, effort, and energy that they're putting into each client project. That way you can price accordingly and then build your packages, right? So if you're running, say you have like 5K retainers, $7,500 retainers, 10K retainers as like a package pricing model, you understand which package is going to be the most profitable, and each of those packages are going to have some sort of profit built into it, right? So don't leave that up to chance. Don't just guess at, hey, this agency is doing 5K per month packages, I'm going to also do 5K per month packages. Your model and their model could be totally different, right? A 5K project for them could be extremely profitable, but a 5K project for you might not be very profitable, depending on everything from salaries to compensation plans for your team, how much software you have, right? There's a lot of expenses, operating expenses, that play into how profitable you will actually be. So crunch the numbers, right? Goes back to that number 2 of knowing your numbers. Okay, number 4, you have to price for profitability. And number 5, you have to hold your ground with your clients. At the end of the day, you cannot let your client walk all over you. You are the expert in whatever service that you are delivering, and they come to you because you are the expert. So you cannot give up ground when it comes to the strategy that you're deploying, because at the end of the day, if you're giving ground there, you're gonna give ground in things like what the projects actually cost. You're gonna give ground into how they treat your team, right? And we've all had those verbally abusive clients. So stand your ground with your clients. One, you'll have better relationships with them, but also two, you and your employees will be much happier. And number 6, they focus on their own internal marketing efforts. And this is one that we see all the time, is that agencies are so great at marketing for others, but rarely do they practice what they preach, right? So you need to get those great marketing strategies in place for yourself as well. We all know that we need an organic strategy. We all know that we should probably be sending out some cold outreach at some point in time. We all know that we should have a paid ad strategy implemented to keep our pipeline full. And at the end of the day, our retention can be as great as we want it to be. But every agency, every service-based business is going to suffer through some sort of churn. And so we're always going to be losing clients. That is just the game of the agency space. And so you need to keep your pipeline full of getting new clients in. Otherwise, you're gonna be kind of stuck in the mud of like only relying on referrals. If we're only relying on referrals, it's just usually not enough to keep our pipeline full, especially a starting agency. We wanna make sure that we have new leads coming in. We're taking those new sales calls. So that internal marketing becomes extremely important for you. And you don't have to do every channel at once. Just pick one channel. Go a mile deep on it, get great at it, get some results being generated in that channel. But here's the thing is you have to do it long enough, or you have to be spending enough money, especially if you're doing paid ads. And the very last rule of the 7 unspoken rules for agencies is you have to work on your strategic partnerships. And this is something that I mention all the time, is like you have to be in the right rooms with the right people, and it's so true. You might be able to get partnered up with an agency that has a complementary service to what you're currently doing. So say you run a creative ads agency that makes incredible ads and you guys absolutely dominate in the creative space, but you don't necessarily have a paid ads department, right? Well, there's other paid ads agencies out there that don't have a creative department. So it's really beneficial for you to, one, go to some events, right? Get linked up with these other agency owners that might not have the same service as you, but they have complementary services that they can refer people out to you, and maybe you get a white label partnership with them, and it will allow you to, one, generate more revenue, but continue to expand your reach inside of the space. And boom, those are the 7 unspoken rules of running a successful agency. And if you guys are miserable running your agency, chances are one of these 7 points is going to help you get out of that miserable state and put you in a place of success. So review this video a couple times, find those pain points, and be able to dial in exactly what it is that you guys need to fix within your business. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.